All right, guys. What is happening? Thank you so much for being here. If you are watching the stream live today, please leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you are new here, if this is your first time here, I make videos just like this one to help simplify your gaming experience, guys. So again, like I said, let me know where you're watching from. We'd be happy to see where my viewers are watching. And if you're watching from Facebook, let me know that. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, let me know that. So would be happy to kind of see where you guys, like I said, are watching from. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and just jump straight into our live stream today and go over what we're going to talk about. So by now, some of you, a lot of you, maybe for Christmas, maybe you picked it up on your own, have purchased your own or gotten an Xbox Series X. And without a doubt, you may not have a new TV, which can handle 4K at 120 hertz because those are somewhat rare and also kind of expensive. So if you fall underneath that window, maybe you just recently bought yourself a 4K, not a 4K, but I think it's called 2K 1440 PC monitor, or maybe you have an older 1080p TV that can also handle, up to 240, up to 120 hertz, but you're not really sure how to get the Xbox Series X to set up properly to your TV settings as well, and you're really wanting to get that nice buttery smooth 120 hertz frame rate in your games. So let me take this out here. So how are we going to do that, guys? So we're going to go ahead and, or I guess really another thing is, one of the things I've been getting actually from other viewers like yourself is how you do that. So I've recently did a video in the past on how you can set up 120 hertz on your 4K TV, like the one that I have behind me here. But I also got a lot of commenters who aren't quite on the 4K TVs yet, but they still want to be able to run 120 hertz. So again, that's another reason why I wanted to put this live stream together today to show you guys how to set those things up. So, like I said, guys, if this is your first time here, my name is Wayne. Thank you so much for being here again today, and we'll get started into showing you this here really soon, but just want to give some time to let this kind of load up. And just a little tidbit about my setup right now. So I do have the Xbox Series X. I did recently purchase a 4K TV that can run the 120 hertz so that I could, obviously one, so that I can experience what it can provide, but I also want to be able to, know how everything works, and so I can tell you guys a little bit more about it as well. So my setup that I currently have, actually, when I have the cables in done properly, I can get the 120 hertz on my TV behind me here. But right now, I've got it put on a capture card, which doesn't allow me to run the 4K at 120 hertz. So sometimes when I'm doing that, I do have to bring my TV back down in the settings to make sure that everything is running smoothly and properly. And so I want to make sure that I give you guys a chance to see how to do this as well. So I think what we'll do is let me know, raise your hands in the comments if you happen to have a 4K TV with the 120 hertz, or if you don't, let me know what kind of monitor or TV that you're currently running on. I would love to know, and just kind of out of interest, would like to see what you guys are using. So let's go ahead and jump right into showing you how to set this up. This won't be a very long video, but I wanted to at least show you guys how to do this. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the capture card here. And you can still see me down here in the bottom. So the first thing you guys want to do is, actually, let's take a step back. Let's talk about why you can't use the 120 hertz on with the current setup. So if you currently have the Xbox Series X, it does come with a 2.1 HDMI import. And so one of the reasons why people are having trouble with their 1440 or even sometimes a 4K TV, like I mentioned behind me, doesn't always have the 120 hertz capabilities. And in order to do that, you need a 2.1 HDMI cable, but you also need a 2.1 input source on your TV. And so if you don't have those couple of things, you're not going to be able to get the max settings from your Xbox Series X console. And that's all right. If you have a 1440 or you have a 1080p TV, still going to work great. But these settings here will allow you to get that, that smoother 120 hertz, which, in games like Call of Duty, racing games like that. That actually is a nice feature to have. I know when I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on multiplayer or even on Warzone, it is really nice to have that feature to be, and I can see the difference between when I'm on a 120 hertz TV and I'm not. So it is really nice to have. So let's go ahead and go back into what you would need to do if you do not have the cable, which you should have the cable, but if your TV doesn't have the capability of doing 4K, and specifically if you don't, if you have the ability to do 120 on your TV as well, though. So maybe you don't have a TV or a monitor that can handle the 120 hertz. So we need to make sure that's part of the thing too. So if you're trying to plug your TV in and it only goes up to 60 hertz, then you're never going to get the 120 hertz, obviously. So let's go ahead and jump in here. We're going to go to our settings once I turn my controller on. I scratch my eye. So we're going to go straight into settings, and again, on my TV, I technically have it set up, but because of the capture card, I cannot run 120 hertz currently. So we're going to go down to TV and display options, and then in here, obviously, I already show that I can run 4K UHD, but that's because I can still run 4K UHD in 60 hertz, even with my capture card plugged in. However, let's go ahead and show you guys what to do if you are not in that situation. The first thing you want to do is come into your TV and display options, and then you're going to go down to over to advanced, and then down to video fidelity and overscan. So once you're in fidelity and overscan, click that, and then I believe under when you first click on here, it's going to be defaulted to overrides. And so what you'll want to do is go down to, if you're on, you want to go down to the HDMI setting, and it's going to ask you to use manual settings, especially if you're on a 4K TV. And just go ahead and click that. If you're not and that setting comes up, you should be all right. And so now you can see that it's going to come up. You're going to kind of freak out. You're like, what is going on with my picture? Don't worry, that's okay. So the first thing we're going to do then is go back out and go over to display resolution. You can see here it defaulted itself down to the 640 by 480. In your case, you'll want to select whichever you have. So if you have an upgraded 1440 monitor, go ahead and select that option, and or a TV that's higher resolution like mine, I can still select this option. And if you had the 1080p TV, no worries, just select that. And it's going to ask you to, sorry about that flicker there, it's going to ask you to keep this resolutions. We're going to hit yes. And again, if you have the 1080p, just select the 1080p. Now you should see that the refresh rate option has come up. And underneath the refresh rate option, I now have the option to click on the 60 or 120. We're going to go ahead and select that. Let that refresh. And I keep popping up under the weird camera. All right, and again, we're going to hit the keep new resolution. And I'm not sure why that monitor keeps flicking like that between the video screens, but that's all right. So now we do have, we set up at 1080p. Not sure why it didn't go to 1440 for me. Maybe that's because it's a monitor setting. That part of the tech I'm not extremely versed on, but we at least have 1080p on this TV, and I have it at 120 hertz refresh rate. And if I wanted to go in here and just check on my 4K TV details, obviously I don't have 4K TV set up right now. But you know, if you did have a 4K TV, these settings, this is where you could kind of check on those things. That's really all you have to do, guys. You can go in here and you can allow the 50 hertz. It's going to do these little flickers again. I'm going to keep those settings. And there we go. And you can do allow the 24. Obviously, those are going to be more so, like the 24, I believe, is going to be more so for if you are watching a movie and you wanted to go back to the 24 hertz for the movie, I believe. Again, not the best tech guy when it comes to that. I just know how to make these changes. So, and again, if you allowed 4K, in my situation, I probably could do this, but in your situation, you probably won't be able to if you don't obviously have a 4K TV. So guys, that is pretty much how you set it up. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you for kind of watching here. Let's go ahead and go back over here. So that's pretty much how you do it, guys. If you happen to have any questions, I noticed we just got a newer viewer here as well. Let me know where you're from, newer viewer. Nice, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to try to answer what I can. And forgive the noise. I'm gonna take a drink of the coffee here. Just kidding, it's tea. Forgot I had tea. But yeah, I'm going to hang out a second and see if you have any questions about that process. Again, if you missed anything and you want me to go back over it, please let me know and we'll do that here in just a moment. If you would like to see this and how to do this with a 4K TV and how to set it all up properly with 4K, I can do that. I just won't be able to do it with the capture card, so we kind of have to give you more of like an over-the-shoulder look. But if you would like me to do that for you real quick, I can. And if you, or if you want, you can always go check out I'll leave it after the live video. I'll put the link in the description for you guys, but you can go check out that video on my YouTube page. It's just called How to Set Up 120 Frames Per Second. So, yeah, I don't really see any questions coming in right now, but I will hang out for just a couple more minutes. Emily, if that's you still watching, thanks for hanging out and participating here. I appreciate that. If it's not you and somebody else is watching, please don't say hi and don't be shy. Love to, love to meet everyone who is on my stream and, giving me the opportunity to share with you guys. So I'm going to hang out for just another couple moments, and if we don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and end the stream. All right, guys, I don't see any questions coming in. So again, thank you so much for watching this stream. And guys, I really appreciate your time. So I will see you in the next one. Okay, guys, have a good one.